So, are you tired of dumping cash into paid ads only to see the results keep shrinking? Today, we're going to dig into a tool called ReddifyAI. It promises a completely different way of doing things by tapping into one of the internet's biggest and, let's be honest, most challenging hubs, Reddit. Let's see what the review has to say. Okay, first, let's just get a sense of the scale we're talking about here. 1.7 billion, with a B. That's how many visits Reddit gets every single month. So yeah, we're not talking about some small, niche forum. This is a monster of a platform that's changing how people find information, and that's really where our story kicks off. Google now actually prefers ranking real, messy Reddit threads over those super polished sales pages, even for really valuable keywords. What that means is that authentic conversation is winning, and that shift is exactly what ReddifyAI claims to leverage.
So why does a tool like this even need to exist? Paid traffic problem. The old way of doing things, just buying a bunch of ads, is becoming, for a lot of people, completely unsustainable.
And this is where the problem gets really tangible. Facebook ad costs are just climbing and climbing. You've got Google clicks hitting $15 or more, and on TikTok, your ad creative burns out in just a few days. Marketers are just spending more and more to get less and less back. Eventually, the math just stops working.
All right, so if paid ads are the problem, where's the solution? It's a big flashing arrow right at Reddit. But, and this is a huge but, it is not a simple fix. It's a massive traffic source for sure, but one that comes with a pretty major challenge.
On one hand, you've got this immense traffic and even visibility on Google. On the other hand, Reddit is hard. You post the wrong way, and you're not just ignored, you can be banned, just like that. Most marketers fail because they sound like marketers. They just don't get the culture. So you have this high-risk, high-reward platform. How do you actually break through? ReddifyAI, a tool designed specifically to help you navigate these really tricky waters.
So here's what supposedly makes it different. It's not just another posting bot. It's an AI that analyzes what's already winning on Reddit, creates human-like content based on that analysis, and then automates outreach to actually capture leads. The whole goal is to blend in, not to shout like an ad.
And the potential uses are pretty broad. Everything from finding your first SaaS customers and filling webinars to building an email list automatically, all without paying for ads. The common thread here is turning those organic conversations into real, tangible business results.
So that's the what. But what about the how? Breaks the tool's process down into what it claims are 4 simple steps.
And hey, before we even get to the steps, a total setup time of just 10 minutes. So the goal here is clearly speed and automation, letting the system just run for you in the background.
The process itself seems pretty straightforward. First, you train the AI by just showing it examples of successful posts in your niche. You're not guessing, you're giving it a pattern to copy. Second, you define your offer. Third, you schedule it to post automatically. And fourth, you just monitor the results on a dashboard. It's designed to take the guesswork and all that manual labor out of the equation.
Now, this all sounds pretty powerful, so let's take a look at its evaluation of who this thing is actually built for.
It's for people who already have a product or service to sell, who are action takers, and who just hate paying for ads. Who is it not for? Well, people with no offer, anyone expecting a magic button for instant wealth, or people who quit easily. The message is pretty clear. It's a tool for leverage, not a lottery ticket.
So let's look at the trade-offs. On the plus side, you get automated lead gen, you save a ton of time, and you can tap into traffic from both Reddit and Google. But the cons are just as important. It's useless without a good offer, you're totally at the mercy of Reddit's rules, and it still requires a smart strategy to work. It's not a magic wand. All right, so what's the final verdict? After weighing all the features, the good and the bad, what's the core takeaway on this tool from the review?
Leverage. It's not about hype or magic. The tool is positioned as a system that works for you, amplifying your offer by putting it in the right conversations at the right time, freeing you up from that daily hustle. And this quote just perfectly summarizes that whole idea. Instead of interrupting people with ads they didn't ask for, this tool is designed to insert your message into conversations where people are already looking for solutions. It's a huge shift from chasing an audience to meeting them where they are.